We are live, and I'm just tuning in from Facebook and Instagram. So I'm on two devices at the moment. Hello, everyone. This is Devan Edwards, aka Devan the Connector, connecting you to the knowledge that will empower yourself. Now, we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can lead yourself with an abundance mindset. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is 5 ways to lead yourself with an abundance mindset, and I'm gonna share some experiences from. I was on a workshop yesterday. It was called the Beyond Leadership Workshop, and we had the opportunity to have John Maxwell as one of our speaking guests, and he was sharing a few tips that I'm gonna share with you, and as well as a few tips from my own experiences. So that's what's gonna be in this live. So I want you guys to put a 1 in the chat if you're currently viewing this live. Put a 1 in the chat. And or if you're just viewing this video, and put a replay if you're watching the replay of this video. So firstly, before we get into anything, the first question you might ask is, if you're new to this world of the mind and the mindset, you might ask yourself, okay, what is an abundance mindset? What is an abundance mindset? And in general, an abundance mindset is the idea of a worldview that there is enough resources and successes for everyone to share. And abundance mindset in a personal sense, not just the idea, but in a personal sense, abundance mindset means to see the limitless potential in life and see the limitless potential for yourself and see the limitless potential for everyone else around you. So let me say that again. Abundance mindset means to see the limitless potential of life, yourself, and everyone around you, knowing that there is plenty of resources and successes for everyone to participate in. The universe is an abundant place. You are abundant. There's a lot of abundance stored within inside of us that we just haven't unlocked, but we're going to unlock a few ways. And one of the ways I'm going to share is, let me just get the notes. So one of the ways is, which I find interesting, is creativity. So I actually did two videos about the power of the creative mind, and creativity is one of the ways that John Maxwell shared. So John Maxwell is a really he's literally like, if you was to search Google leadership on Google, he will be like one of the top people to pop up. And he said creativity is one of the ways to develop a abundance mindset. And what he says is that you have to be full of anticipation. You have to be able to see the problem from far ahead and have a solution before it even arrives. So even have like 4 free solutions before it arrives. So you need to understanding the problem, but even being in the space of saying, okay, this will work out in my favor. So anticipate that everything that you go through, every interaction will work out in your favor. And creative people in general believe there's always an answer. There was actually a quote by Earl Nightingale. And he said, problems are challenges to creative minds. Without problems, there will be little reason to think at all. So that's an interesting one. So it's important that we question the parameters of our programming, because we all come into this lifetime with a programming. We all come into this lifetime with a human default programming where we're operating based on the norms and of society and our self-education, but not really questioning how that's affecting us, and not really anticipating how it could affect us. So the ability to have a abundance mindset is to really move from that victimhood to victory, like empower ourselves through the knowledge that's outside of our viewpoint. You know what I mean? So creativity is number 1. Okay. And now number 2 is flexibility. So I mean, when John Maxwell said flexibility, what popped in my mind was how the brain works and neuroplasticity, because neuroplasticity is really the ability to build new neural networks within your brain and have a more flexible brain. So you're able to adapt to different situations. And when it comes to when he said when it comes to flexibility, you want to be flexible in understanding how abundant your mindset is, in be flexible in really challenging what is possible. So he said, John Maxwell said, my best is now. So he has to say, okay, my best is now, and my best today is going to build the foundation for a better tomorrow. So he's incorporating creativity into his mind, but he's being flexible about it. He's saying, okay, this is my best today, but I can do better. How can I do more? How can I get? So he's staying abundant. He's knowing that this is not the end all be all. This is not the end all be all. My best today, it doesn't just end today. You know, it compounds. Consistency compounds. And he said the best is the floor, better is the ceiling. The best is the floor. So people who are operating in an abundance mindset, they strive to really do their best within their day, and they could beat themselves up, but in the essence of it, they don't really beat themselves up because they know it's building what they're doing today is going to build a foundation for a better tomorrow. So, and they know that what they did today is they can do more. So they're okay with it. They're okay with the fact that they did their best. And I found that very powerful because he did say the fruit of learning is improvement, and that's what I feel flexibility is about. It is embracing the process. It's really embracing the fact that, okay, what I'm doing now I can improve on. There's always another level. I remember my brother said in relation to lifting weights, because he's a transition coach. Shout out to Andre Dream. And what he said is that, because he always says this, there's always another level, and if you want to level up your weight. And I loved it. He's like, if you want to level up your weight, you know, because usually the lift weights, if you want to be able to bench this, like you better up your weight. And I found that that was very interesting. And when you can't really grow until you've identified that you've improved. You can't really grow until you know that you did your best within that day. So you can't even do better until you really know that you've done your best. And you can end the night satisfied that you did something, and you know that you can do something more going forward. So that's number 2, is flexibility. And now, number 3. Let me get to number 3 before I reveal 2 of my personal ones. So that I gathered. So number 3 was, he said, get into environments of people who are bigger and more expansive in life. Now this is so important because I remember talking about empowering yourself through positive associations, and it's so important because I remember being a university student, pursuing a career I thought I wanted, but deep down I was just conforming to the norms of society and my self-education, and I was surrounded by people who were imprisoned by their paychecks and people who just simply gave up on their dreams and goals. But I knew there was more. Deep down I knew there was more. And then something happened. The environment changed. Everything changed. The energy changed. The people, the mindsets changed around me. And through that, I was able to empower myself in my mind, body, and spirit, and connect to the knowledge that will empower myself. And just being in the environment of people who think on a more bigger, expansive level, people that were showing me that there's more to what I was already experiencing. That's what really changed me, and that's what really inspired me to really pursue empowerment, pursue enrichment, pursue the enlightenment, pursue what more could I be, you know? And I'm just grateful for the people that I've met on my journey. um, over these years. So yeah, so I mean, in a nutshell, get into environments of people who are bigger and more expensive in life. So if you become let's say for you become a thousandaires, you need to hang around the millionaires, And if you were to become a millionaire, the millionaires hang around the billionaires, and then if you're a billionaire, you want to hang around multi-billionaires and trillionaires, I mean, because there's always another level. But you knew that. You knew that. You knew that. And so let me just move on. Okay, now I'm gonna get into something very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So number four is empower your perception and shift your paradigm. Empower your perception and shift your paradigm. If there's something that you want to even so you put let me give this a bit clearer for you. So your perception codifies your experience. Your perception is everything. And I remember John Maxwell, he said, how you view things is how you do things. So whatever you're visualizing, because remember that, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich, and Napoleon Hill, he says you have to visualize the desired outcome. But how many of us really visualize our desired outcome each and every day? Like how many of us realize that there's no limit every day? How many of us actually allow ourselves to be limited in our pursuit for our idea of success because of a few things that happened, but not realizing that those small setbacks are really just a reflection point to elevate into a higher comeback. And I mean, how many of us really take that time? So I mean, when in terms of powering your perception, what I do recommend is that everyone does the internal work. I mean, for me, what's helped is meditation, silent meditations. I call it growing silently. There's a Chinese proverb that talks about growing silently as well. And right now we're in a time where there's a lot of energetic resets that's taken place. And even with the full moon out right now, this is a time for us to find out what things do we need to release from within ourselves in order to reveal the abundance that's like within us as well. So there might be something holding you back, but on the other spectrum of that is a power that you have within you. On the other spectrum of that blockage is a gift that you have. On the other spectrum of that talent of the other spectrum of that blockage is a talent that you have, and you won't know until you go within. You just won't know, and you won't know until you get into those positive environments. You won't know until you challenge your human default programming. You won't know until you decide to grow. You just won't know. You just won't know. And I encourage you to even check out Bob Proctor, because Bob Proctor is big on the mind. He's mastered it. He's really mastered his mind. And I'm so grateful that I'm part of masterminds where it really challenges my thinking. Because again, your brain in particular, it will only grow when it's challenged. Like even just the ability to build new neural networks in your body, your cells, your brain, your whole being has to be challenged, because it needs to wake up those dormant cells within you. It needs to wake up that dormant power within you. And once you understand that, you embrace the challenges. It's like, okay, this is a challenge. Will I grow from it? Maybe. Let's go. So number 4 is empower your perception, shift your paradigm. And number 5 is strategize how to better advocate yourself with an abundance mindset. Strategize how am I going to adopt this abundance mindset for myself? What things do I need to ring true for myself that will confirm that I'm moving in with an abundance mindset? And I didn't realize it's connected, but when I was on the workshop as well, one of my mentors, Eric Worre, he said there's a simple formula to problem solving, and strategizing this is the ability of problem solving. And the first thing he said is ask yourself, what could I do? So what could you do to better advocate yourself for an abundance mindset? This may be one of the things. You might be watching this video as a strategy to develop an abundance mindset. So it could be a course, it could be a book, it could be a podcast, it could be masterminds. What could you do to develop an abundance mindset? You could get into those environments. You could listen to frequencies. You can read books that challenge your brain. You could do cognitive brain training, which is what I also do. You could, there's so many things you could do. There's podcasts that are geared to solve problems. But again, do you want to solve the problem? You know what I mean? And then and also you could say, well, what could I read or learn? So again, it's just what I said. Like, what could you learn that will help you lead yourself an abundance mindset? What could you read that will help you lead with an abundance mindset? I recommend Think and Grow Rich. Another book has helped me a lot is The Secret of the Ages. The Secret of the Ages. So this talks about the power of the subconscious mind. There's another book by Joseph Murphy. It is The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And powerful books I recommend. And then number three in the formula of strategizing is, who could I ask? Who could I ask? Who do I know that has that I feel has an abundance mindset? And then who could I ask that has been there and done that? Who could I ask that is operating in every day in every way? Who could I ask? You know, who could I ask? And you have to ask yourself and then ask someone else. And then it'll gradually open, once you open those doors, once you knock on the doors, it starts opening doors of opportunities. It starts opening doors of resources and ways to be successful within your mind or within whatever your desired idea of success is. And then number 4 of that formula of strategizing is, don't ask first. Because I never ask. One thing for me as well, I realized, I was reflecting on this, I was like, I never actually asked anyone. As soon as I saw something that challenged my brain or was triggering me, I asked myself, what could I do first? I really did ask myself, what could I do? And I would be researching first, and then I would go ask. But I didn't ask first. Because what people need to realize is, a lot of times we scapegoat our responsibility. And I've been a victim of that before, but a few years back ago, where I used to self-sabotage a lot and not take responsibility for that. But then when you do take responsibility, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. Because success is your door. Success is your duty. It is your opportunity. It is your obligation, and it's your responsibility. So yeah, you definitely have to be responsible for what you want to research. And again, don't be afraid of the information that you're ignorant to. Like you have to come to the acceptance that you're ignorant of this. And I remember Les Brown saying, the problem is you don't know that you don't know that you don't know. He said, you don't know that you don't know that you don't know. But yeah, don't ask first. Like really follow that formula. What could I do? What could I read or learn? Who could I ask? And don't ask first. So that's number 5. Strategize how to better advocate yourself. So I'm gonna put the list again. Number 1 was creativity. Number 2 was flexibility. Number 3 was empower your perception and shift your paradigm. Number 4 was get into environments of people who are bigger and more expansive in life. And number 5 was strategize how to better advocate yourself for an abundance mindset. So these are the 5 ways to lead yourself with an abundance mindset. Let me know which one of the 5 you found more value in, or you found particular value in, or what stood out to you in this live that you would like to take more action on. So let me know in the comments below. And I just want to say, stay empowered, and just remember the connection. continues. Take care. Okay, let me end this live.